God works in mysterious and wonderful ways. And indirectly, I stand before you as a Catholic priest, and my family is Catholic because of St. Patrick. But as I say, God works in mysterious ways. Let me explain a little more. Growing up in Quincy, Mass, St. Patrick's Day was a source of great pride. Most everyone, and I mean everyone, wore something green, had some corned beef and cabbage, even if they didn't like it, listened to Irish music, even if they didn't like it. I like it. And adults all toasted St. Patrick, and for some, their Irish heritage. What makes it interesting is that my dad is of English descent. Both of my grandparents come from England. And my mom is of Irish descent. Fortunately, my dad embraced not only St. Patrick's Day, but more importantly, the Catholic faith that has been an important part of my mom's family for generations. So with that as the foundation, you can imagine my shock when I learned that St. Patrick wasn't born in Ireland. Hope I'm not shocking anyone here. And as incredible as that might be, what if I were to tell you that the patron saint of Ireland was born in Great Britain? Well, before you lose your faith in everything you thought you knew about St. Patrick, let me reassure you that he was an incredible Catholic Christian and a role model for us. In fact, his story is one that predates the predominance of Christianity in Ireland, and what makes his life and God's providence in it all the more compelling. At the young age of 16 years old, Patrick was kidnapped and taken to Ireland as a slave. And 6 long years later, he escaped and returned to Britain, and later was ordained a Catholic priest. Now, I think most of us would want to leave our trials of our past behind and remain in the safety and the familiarity of our homeland. However, the then Pope Celestine saw something in the future saint that caused to send Patrick back to Ireland to evangelize the Irish. Excuse me. Again, as someone who grew up hearing the term Irish Catholic, it's so hard to imagine Ireland not being Catholic, but it wasn't. And because of Ireland's pagan members, many were hostile to Christianity. Patrick was putting his life on the line, in constant danger. However, I believe on this holy day for St. Patrick, there is something we can learn from him that applies to all of us, to all people and everywhere. And that is how he faced challenges. St. Patrick, like the prophet Jeremiah and our founder, Venerable Patrick Peyton, confidently placed his trust in God. Everything he placed in trusting God. And all of us can follow this example so that, as we heard in the first reading, when the trials of life heat up, from conflicts, both external and those that we have internally, or when we experience a drought in our lives, whether it's a lack of peace, whether it's lacking financial means, whether it's lacking health or anything, if we have deep roots with God, then we won't just make it through, but our efforts will bear fruit. You see, both Venerable Patrick Peyton and his namesake both experienced trials in seeking to follow God, just as each one of us do, no matter our age, our ancestry, or our homeland. It's inevitable that our faith will be tested. But in each holy man named Patrick, we see a reason to believe in God's grace, leading us to see the good we are called to do and the ability to do it. Father Peyton brought the faith of St. Patrick with him, first to the United States and then to the world, following the footsteps of his missionary namesake, with the same courageous zeal, evangelizing men and women and boys and girls of all nations. And at the time of his death, St. Patrick must have rejoiced in seeing that there was an Irish clergy in place and that Christianity had reached nearly all of Ireland. All because God used a time of trial in Patrick's life to see the plight of the Irish while he too suffered. And then, as Father Peyton would later do, St. Patrick, once freed as a slave, wished to repay God with his life for others. So my brothers and sisters, on this St. Patrick's Day, let us be inspired to be rooted in our faith in God, believing that he can bring good from hard times and the grace to see our ways through, even the most challenging. May God bless you and your families, and happy St. Patrick's Day to one and all.